Added a few tablespoons of some brown butter, added my cold brew coffee, some heavy cream, blended it up, and I needed a snack. I got some bacon. It was pretty good, but I had to get rid of this garbage lettuce.
Oh, TikTok. An app where you can think of the most absurd thing imaginable, and chances are there's somebody with 700,000 followers for doing it. I mean, we've seen some pretty peculiar things get people followers on TikTok, like that one lady who went around singing hound dog everywhere, or the guy who wastes food for a living. But one type of content creator that I've consistently never been able to understand are the TikTok carnivores. People who exclusively eat meat, no plants, no vegetables, and then for some reason feel the need to share it with the world. Now I'm sure you guys know of the Liver King, you might have heard of Carnivore MD, but to me, those guys seem like they're putting on a persona. I feel like they might just be doing it for the views. But one person that I think actually lives the carnivore lifestyle just to live it is the TikToker. It's Courtney Luna. Now we've talked about Courtney before, and I went on her TikTok page a few days ago to see if anything had changed, and it had, just for the worse. Now just a fair warning, I recommend that you really take a moment to physically and mentally prepare yourself for the most heinous, quote, carnivore recipes that this planet has ever seen. You've been warned. Alright, let's begin. Please subscribe.
So I wanted to change up my coffee a little bit today. I added a few tablespoons of some brown butter, added my cold brew coffee, some heavy cream, blended it up, and it was kind of a disaster.
Just kind of a disaster? It looks like you accidentally used spoiled milk to create this. There is more butter than coffee in your coffee. I never thought I'd have to say that.
But you know what? It was pretty good. Then I whipped up some fresh whipping cream. Gotta be honest, it was a little gritty from the butter chilling, but it was really delicious. I'd do it again.
Alright, so in a single cup of coffee, we have like 5 tablespoons of butter and then half a cup of whipped cream. Where's the meat? Okay, this is not only a ridiculously unhealthy coffee, it's not a carnivore coffee. You think a tiger is whipping up butter coffee? No, he's ripping up like a water buffalo. This is not carnivore.
It is hot as hell here today, so I am making my carnivore ice cream. I doubled my recipe, so I did 1 cup of cream, 2 raw egg yolks, and a pinch of salt. Whip it up and then put in your ice cream maker. You want to get it nice and thick. It took like about 10 minutes or so. And then I put mine in the freezer, or you can eat like this. It's like froyo. Of course, my ice cream scooper crapped out as I was doing this, but here you go, still delicious. It just looks a little funky.
All right, I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure legally this would be classified as like quiche filling. Whipped up milk and eggs do not make ice cream. I mean, sure, that's like the base of a lot of ice cream, but still, this is not going to taste like ice cream. It's going to taste like frozen milk with a hint of egg. No sugar, no syrup, no flavoring of any sort. It feels wrong to call this ice cream.
Breakfast keto wrap. I took 2 slices of cheese, put them in my toaster oven for about 5 minutes. And then I scrambled up some eggs, I put that in there, and I cooked up some bacon and took little pieces of that. You can fill it with anything you like and then just roll it up. They hold up in the fridge really well, so you can make a whole batch for the week. Easy meal prep.
Okay, so this one isn't as much of a crime. I'm still not fully on board with making like a cheese tortilla. My main issue is that do you know what a combination of fried cheese, eggs, and bacon will smell like after a week in the fridge? You're gonna open up that Tupperware container on day 6 and nuke your house.
I've got the Halloween vibes. We're making my favorite carnivore candies. It tastes like caramel. You're going to take a stick of butter, cook it for about 5 minutes, stir it so the milk proteins don't burn, and then when it's nice and brown, don't be afraid to get it super brown. Then you're going to take it off the heat. You don't want it to keep cooking. You don't want it to burn. Seriously, do not be afraid of leaving it on long enough to get brown. Look at this beautiful caramel color.
So guys, I was following this recipe, but when I was cooking my butter, it got a little bit brown, and I think the recipe pretty clearly stated that it shouldn't get brown. What do you guys think I should do?
It tastes nutty, it tastes caramely. Literally my whole house smelled like C's Candy was making some caramel. So pick your molds. I got tombstones. I thought you guys would really enjoy those. So the brown bits are going to sink to the bottom. So you want to scoop it up from the bottom so they all get that nice caramel flavor. Pop them in the freezer. I leave them in the freezer because they're crunchy and chewy and so delicious, you guys.
Yeah, that's the entire recipe. It's melted butter candy. No salt, no actual candy. It's frozen butter. This is not the carnivore lifestyle. This is not part of the carnivore diet. This is like a recipe from the Great Depression. This is what families in the 1400s cooked their children so they could have something special when all they had was butter and milk, and you couldn't waste the milk.
Carnivore crack. It is very addicting. Melt 2 sticks of butter and you're going to brown it. It takes about 10 minutes. Be careful not to burn it. Take a small cookie sheet. This is smaller than a regular cookie sheet. Line with parchment paper. Get it all in there and top it with bacon sprinkles. Then you're going to stick it in your freezer for a few hours. After it's all set, you're going to pull it out and then just break it apart, just like you would with bark. You've got the caramelized brown bits on the bottom and delicious bacon on top.
This is somehow worse than the last, quote, candy. This is the first one that's made me feel physically sick. Think about what you're actually eating here. This would be akin to cooking bacon in a pan, waiting 30 minutes for the grease to solidify, taking a spoon, scraping it up, and downing it. This is vile.
Have you guys seen this before? So apparently it's a thing in Scandinavia. You take a hot cup of coffee, cut up chunks of bread cheese, which is my absolute favorite. But you know what? I tried it. I didn't love it.
I mean this in the nicest way possible, but if a person who eats bacon grease candy and frozen butter candy tells you that something doesn't taste good, you better run.
Carnivore cheesecake ice cream. Take half a cup of cream, 1 egg yolk, and 3 tablespoons of softened cream cheese. I did not use salt in this one. Dump it in your ice cream maker and look how beautiful it looks. It's so delicious, you guys.
As a person who loves cheesecake, this one really hurt me. The amount of disappointment I would experience if somebody told me they made me some cheesecake ice cream and then served me this, I think it would break me. This one didn't even get salt. What did it do to you? What do you have against this ice cream? Not even gonna salt it? Not even gonna give it a chance? That's just cruel.
Easy little carnivore lunch. I had some bone marrow. There wasn't much left in there. And I had some cold brisket. I'm loving it cold. I don't know why. The fat is all soft and buttery. I'm loving it. And I also had a little bread cheese waffle bite.
Alright, so as gross as this looks, and as much as I don't like the thought of eating cold bone marrow and cold brisket, the problem with eating like this every day is not the taste, it's that everything that you're looking at is ridiculously high in calories and fat. I mean, that little thing of bone marrow probably has like 700 to 1,000 calories, and then brisket is not exactly great for you either. It's slightly healthier than like pork butt, and then come on, fried cheese, do I really need to explain that one? There is absolutely nothing healthy about a diet like this, and I don't see how the people who eat like this think there is. I think it probably has something to do with age. It seems like all of these carnivore influencers, if that's what you want to call them, are in their like 30s or 40s. You can get away with a lot in your 30s and 40s, and there's still time for change. Eat like this every day until you're 60, and your heart is not gonna be too happy with you. There have been countless studies, and it's always been found that eating a lot of red meat increases your chance of heart disease. I think the agreed upon statistic over the years has been that for every 50 grams of red meat that you are regularly eating every day increases your chance of heart disease by like 10%. Can you imagine the numbers if you're eating nothing but red meat 3 meals a day and snacks? I mean, I sort of feel bad for some of these people because they think they're being healthy and they've been told by people on the internet that they're being healthy, but eventually, I mean, it's gonna catch up.
I grabbed a hard-boiled egg as I was heading out the door. I stopped by Starbucks and I got a coffee. And then we drove down to the harbor. We cruised around. I needed a snack. I got some bacon. It was pretty good, but I had to get rid of this garbage lettuce.
I think this TikTok is really the cherry on the top for this video. You'll drink Starbucks coffee, but you won't allow yourself to eat some lettuce with your midday bacon. This is a big problem with the internet, man. I mean, it's taking normal people and radicalizing them in the weirdest ways. I can tell this lady is a smart person. She seems to have done research. It's that there's just so much bad research out there that otherwise smart people can be led into making bad decisions. No rational person without all of this false information coming from the internet is going to land on a lifestyle where they completely block themselves from being able to eat any sort of vegetable. It's just not gonna happen. Courtney, Miss Luna, if you see this, you saw my last video, I think. No hard feelings, obviously. honestly. At the end of the day, I really don't care what you eat. It doesn't affect me, but it does affect you. You're not gonna listen to me because why would you? You haven't listened to anybody else, so I don't expect you to take my word over others, but if I can say anything, it's just that these millions of doctors are not lying to you. They do not have anything to gain from saying that eating red meat 3 times a day is not good for you. I mean, really? Like, what good for them would come out of lying about that, you know? But hey, you do you, I'll do me, and I'll have fun TikToks to watch, so I guess we all win, right? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free, it won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
Subscribe.